Welcome back to Wario Land II. Oh.
Wario.
Syrup's castle is whole again. Sheesh.
Also, where did we just...
I just demolished the beach.
Also, we're just jumping around from place to place. We were in an urban city, then we broke through a desert with pyramids, and now we're in the wood right near the castle.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. I just demolished this beach.
I was just waiting to see the look on his face when he saw that I've rebuilt my entire fortress. Now, guards, you know the plans. Give our guests the welcome committee.
Final chapter. Syrup Castle. Story 1. Get to the castle.
And then they just throw a random party. Hey guys, look, it's Wario.
Well, remember, Teo, we were also in woods before we got to the city itself. So maybe the city all around is surrounded by woods.
And I guess the city has a castle not too far from it. Dang, we really are in Donklin.
Or maybe, Jova, this is actually like a game adaptation of a generic video game movie adaptation, where you get like the urban city, but the fantastical element of the game world just spawned out right next to it.
Oh my god, you know, that is a good point, Teo. Maybe this is the city from the movie, seeing as how there was a desert outside of Koopa City in the Super Mario Brothers movie. My god, Teo, crack the code.
Yeah, I can see how some of the characters work. I can see it like what is it with the women in this?
The turtle just died.
What is it with the women in this world? We even got a Disney princess, one more focused on sponsoring our kingdom, and now we got a complete pirate bitch.
Also, Jova, it's better that way because these type of turtles in IRL are actually really nasty. Just a simple bite can actually tear off one of your limbs.
Oh, it's a snapping turtle?
Yeah, I can recognize the shapes and everything.
And not as creepy as those turtles look like they have nothing but teeth on the end. What kind of turtles are those?
No, this one actually has a beak instead. They actually doesn't have teeth, but just by sheer power of the jaw power alone, it can rip off your arm.
Yeah, I've seen some creepy looking turtles that look like they have only a flat head that's nothing but teeth.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, I remember these kind of surfing areas in Pokemon. The ones where if you surf on a particular bit, you'll end up going backwards or forwards fast.
Well, there's also, like, for example, that route in Gen 3, the one where you had to traverse in order to start unlocking the Regis, where you need to traverse the right path before entering the cave.
Yeah, and if you pick the wrong one, you have to start.
Yeah. The thing that amazed me most is the fact that the manual of Pokemon Gen 3 actually came in with a Braille code alphabet on the end, just for deciphering the Regis puzzle.
Fuck.
It really did remind.
I'll never forget.
It really did remind me of stuff like King's Quest, where I had to, put down some notes in order to solve the puzzles.
That is one thing I do appreciate about Gen 3. It really did feel like you were solving a puzzle, even if you had to also get the guide for that.
Again, the Pokemon games, ironically enough, did evolve in time, just in their own way. So, makes sense.
In the meantime, once again...
I wonder what Wario is...
Where is what? Good, sorry?
Is evolved form. I wonder what that would be.
Wario.
The final form with the pot on his head in WarioWare Gold.
Technically, it's this one to us because remember, as we've established in Wario Land 1.
Oh, that's right.
As we've established in Wario Land 2, in Super Mario Land 2 and Wario Land 1, Wario also has a tiny Wario form.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Not to mention, go figure. Of all games, it's WarioWare Gold that actually remembers that Wario is supposed to be a bad guy. Figures.
Well, technically, Well, this is a thing too. Even when Wario is technically doing
He's
something,
more of an anti-hero.
yeah,
Well,
Wario is not so much a villain. Is more of an okay. He was a villain in Mario Land II.
Okay.
Yes, but
Okay. I guess to be fair, it depends on what game or setting is. If it's something like the Mario Tennis games, yeah, he's definitely a bad guy. But I guess in games where you're playing as him, he's an
traditional
anti-hero.
villain slash final boss. In the years instead, Wario has become, thanks to also this series, has assumed the role of a protagonist, even though an anti-hero role, or still a supporting character, thanks to WarioWare, that though is occupied in giving me.
Interesting thing. The Wire characters became.
Well,
Wario became the star of his own sub-series. Waluigi became a meme.
well,
I remember there was supposed to be an equivalent of Peach as well, which was discarded though.
well,
Hey, we got Super Princess Peach.
technically, WarioWare is a spin-off series that's not part of the Wario Land.
I know.
Series. So it's not like when it comes to the Wario Land games or even Master of Disguise. They always go for that. Wario is always out for money, as in he's only out for himself, not others. Even when he does technically have to help someone, he only, like in Wario Land Shake It, he is only helping them because he was promised gold, not for any other reason. So it's not like his douchebaggery has been eliminated. It's just that he's putting his douchebaggery to good use, more like.
Yeah, that's actually what I meant. WarioWare Gold actually brings back instead him being full frontal villain.
Boing.
Mind you, it's not that apparent because he's the one that's hosting the whole thing once again.
Don't you see, Teo? Wario is not a villain. He's just a misunderstood miscreant.
Honestly, I'm inclined to believing that more of Bowser than actually Wario. I mean, the more time passes, the more Bowser becomes this sympathetic figure that makes you question if who's really the villain.
He just wants to support his son.
Which one, Dweebs? He has 8.
Technically,
9.
Oh yeah, true. That's right. He does have 8 sons and one daughter.
He has the Koopalings and
Bowser
the
Jr.
Bowser Jr. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, but the Koopalings are 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, technically, there's that.
Wait. Hold on. In that case, he has 7 sons and 1 daughter.
Oh, that's right. But still.
Hang on, let's see where this one is.
That one.
Second from the left. Yeah. But what were the mini Bowsers called in that Mario Party game called? Because there is a Mario Party games
Mario Party
where. 2. Yeah, where mini Bowsers, but basically are claimed as, other children of Bowser show up, but
they're just called Bowser children. Like they didn't think of it like any.
Obviously,
they just made them mini Bowsers because children.
Aren't they the ones that have those black star spaces that just take 5 coins from
Exactly, Mario Party 2.
Or randomly on occasion give you 5
1?
coins.
It's because Dwebs they make a mistake.
Oh, damn it!
But then they don't realize that mistake, and then don't tell anyone, okay?
Yeah, don't tell no one.
I guess that's the big advantage of Mario. If you fuck up something with one of the game, in something in terms of having a character that shouldn't be there, you just say, yeah, no, whatever. It's a different timeline.
And then there's those times where,
of course, nowadays, apparently there's an official canon as per the Nintendo Switch 2017 presentation.
How do you even call it? Mushroom Kingdom Historia?
No. Remember, Teo.
And there's also those times where if you get a certain bit in the Bowser on a Bowser space, a Bowser Jr. can disguise himself as a Toad and trick you into giving him a Zatar.
Technically,
Anyway, okay, dear. Here's how it goes. Aside from the classic Mario Brothers games, pretty much the 3D Mario games are considered the main canon, whereas the 2D ones are considered, spin-off stuff. Like, technically they can happen in the universe, but otherwise,
it also kind of makes sense, Joe, because depending on the game, the design of the Mushroom Kingdom changes constantly. So
Yeah. That's why the 3D series, which has stayed consistent with how Peach's Castle looks like, is pretty much, the canon stuff. Like, Peach's Castle in Galaxy looks exactly as it did in, 64. And then, of course, we got Odyssey.
Well, keep in mind, Jova, at the end of Galaxy, the universe gets rebooted. Because of course it does. So so that
because sad ending, basically.
Yeah, when you get down to it, the ending of Galaxy is actually quite depressing.
There you go. It's Koizumi doing that old Nintendo tradition of having a game that on the surface seems very happy and stuff, but when you actually think a bit deeper, well, this is actually kind of depressing when I think about it.
Also, that Luma never returned Mario's hat, the bastard.
So yeah, good luck there, dude.
For a second, I thought it was Donkey Kong with a weird helmet.
Well, now he's trapped there forever in the space between spaces.
My tongue feels dirty now. I say so.
There you go. It's also well. I don't know, Jova, because back when was when Mario's 25th anniversary came out, Nintendo made a special video about the 25th anniversary of the main series, and they included the new Mario Brothers games in the lineup together with the Galaxies and stuff like that. So I don't know if Nintendo considers the new Super Mario Brothers games spin-offs.
Oh wow! Well, so apparently Wario had a haircut. That's true.
Anyway, Pedro, wait. When you say Super Mario Brothers games, you're talking about the classics, right?
No, the new one. Like I said, back when the 20th anniversary was a thing, Nintendo released a video where they were basically showing all the highlights of all the of the Super Mario. Basically, from what I can tell, Jova, Nintendo considers all the platformers the main canon. Basically, the platformers specifically. From what I can tell.
So you're saying that they may also consider the 2D ones canon too?
Yes. Well, we know that the Super Mario Bros. Trilogy and World are canon, of course, because they introduced stuff that were later.
I guess New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe U is also considered canon since the Super Crown shows up in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Well, I guess you can technically Super Mario Brothers Deluxe is a remake of the original Mario Brothers, so
you know what I mean, though. I'm talking specifically about the deluxe version. Whatever, same thing and all that.
Let me just see if I can find it. 25th anniversary. See if I can find it. I think it's this one.
Admittedly, making all the platformers canon is nice, short, sweet, and simple anyway.
Sure.
The discrepancy
it's
Peach's Castle, but what you gonna do?
Yeah, it's this one. Here, Phil. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's this one. Basically, audience, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go on YouTube and search Super Mario Brothers. Basically, this was the video that search for history of Super Mario Brothers. Everybody.
That was made back in 2010, but I see what you mean now.
Yeah, basically, when the 20th anniversary came about, audience, there was a video that Nintendo made where they made a history of Super Mario Brothers 1985 to 2010, with Galaxy 2 being the last one since it was the most recent one at the time. And they included.
Are you sure that this is what they mean by canon, though, as opposed to them just showing
it's the only
Mario games?
Well, it's the only official thing that I can go on.
I got that page. What I'm saying is, sure, they're showing out the history of Mario, but that doesn't always state what's canon. That just shows the games that they've made. Not that I'm disagreeing with you.
True, but they only show the platformers here specifically. So I'm wondering if this is what they mean by the main canon, as in the platformers, which would make sense if you ask me, considering the platformers themselves. There's nothing in particular that contradicts any of the platformers from being canon, all of them. So. But again, this is just conjecture on my part. But it's the only thing I can go on from here.
I forbid Super Princess Peach is also canon.
Well, technically, there's nothing preventing it from being.
I know, it's just that game.
The only major series, Jova sub-series that it's pretty established that are not in canon are the RPGs. Paper Mario is its own thing, and the Mario and Luigi RPGs are their own thing.
What was
Well, they crossed over, of course.
No, they did, but in universe, remember the Paper Mario universe? It's a story in a book.
What was Super Princess Peach like? Was it like a platform?
Yeah,
but it was heavily influenced by the touchscreen, corresponding to Peach's emotional state.
I thought you were gonna say it was heavily influenced by drugs or something.
Well,
Possibly,
it has a bit of widgetism on it, but it's not as wacky as, for example, this series, Wario Land would be.
Dwibs, are you a bad enough princess to steal the vibrator? I mean, the vibe scepter. That's literally what it's called from Bowser. Yeah, it's one of those games. Basically, Peach fights using her emotions. No, I'm not kidding. She fights using her emotions, and she can eat enemies using an umbrella, which kind of makes like perfect sense when you think about it.
Totally.
And she does this to, again, steal a vibrating scepter. Oh, yeah, and she also saves Mario from Bowser while she's at it.
Okay, that's just being rude.
Yeah, that... Alright, let's see if we can...
Charge!
Now! There we go.
There we go. Just... fuck it.
What's taking him so long? Were my traps really that
and now we have ghosts that are not the booze. Oh, jeez. What the fuck?
Zombie Wario.
Oh, snap.
Got a lot of music.
Get into the light!
Basically, if you touch any ghosts or supernatural beings, you turn into a zombie.
And you can't jump, I guess.
Exactly.
You can all these transformations actually remind me a bit of the Metal Slug games, actually.
Yep.
Where you can become different things.
Fun fact, though, when you're a zombie, you can actually go through floorboards, specifically the ones I'm walking on right now.
Huh. Wonder why you don't just do that now, then. It looks like you got all the coins.
I just did.
Oh, there you go.
Well, the problem is, Joe, but remember, like Theo just said, I can't jump, so any coins that are on the air, I can't get.
There we go.
Alright.
Gotta say, the design of this castle, even if it's rebuilt, it leaves to be desired.
It's the hero special, made to prepare for when the hero is trying to break his way in.
The treasure was a cape, I guess.
Yeah, I gotta say though, the fact that Wario is able to get in, kind of, I guess your captain was a pretty shitty security stance.
She's a pirate. It's pretty clear that she's not used to have a castle. One, maybe. Yeah.
Or maybe she wants him to become
7.
Or 7. It still can be 7.
It was one last. It was one.
Why is it purple?
Damn it.
Oh, right.
It was one last time. So.
That was weird. For once, you had one that were no marks on there.
Oh, well. Now I know which one it is, so...
Yeah.
Of course.
7, there you are.
There it is.
No, that tricks you. It was 1.
And there we go.
Yeah. If we get more, I can sell this on eBay for £5.
Defeat 4 dicks.
Ducks.
My bad.
4 dicks. You do realise this Nintendo family game.
Freudian sleep, so that's what it is.
Yeah. I don't think even Metroid would do that.
Well, being heavily inspired by the Alien franchise, some bosses do have an H.R. Geiger-esque appearance to them.
Especially in Fusion.
You wanted to play the jingle. Also, I think the ghosts are basically invulnerable as a result.
Yes.
You can't defeat them properly. Ah, Jesus. That was a blind side.
Really? All that way back just for some coins?
That's the thing of...
Well, actually, Jova, technically, Jova, I'm trying to get to the first duck. So go ahead.
Oh,
As I
surprising.
mentioned, again, Dweebs, it's sorry, Jova. It's the since there's no actual death in the game, the entire challenge is instead being forced to backtrack. Effectively, it's kind of as if the game has a checkpoint system. It's just that you don't die; you simply get transported back to the start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Trying to bit out. There you go. And here's one of the ducks. There you go.
How anticlimactic.
Well, that's all it is too. Just defeat 4 ducks.
How random.
I guess we're like lieutenants or something.
My guess is the developers got to this point in the game and they were like,
Like,
okay.
oh shit, we need to have Wario do something.
No. Well, by that point we can just have him go to the go-to. It's just that my guess is someone was on the team was all like, okay, I'm getting a bit tired of constantly reusing the same stage missions. Okay, I'm gonna think of something different for a change. And someone's like, defeat 4 ducks.
Genius.
It's like he was looking at a picture book at the time. And he just came up with it based on what page he was reading. Like, I mean, it could have been. I mean, what if it were like what if you were reading another page and it were like defeat 4 giraffes or defeat 4 kangaroos?
Oh damn it.
Oh, that gets hurt.
Well, yeah, good thing I hid my vial of immunity juice away from Mario's grasp. So I have it all and he doesn't.
But you still lose some of your coins, eh?
At least I don't lose my life.
That's the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's argument. But you still take the damage.
but that's the thing, though. At least I don't
Context.
lose my life.
Context.
Unlike you, Mario, you're about as brittle as a flake bar.
Context. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's introduced a lot, and I mean a lot of monsters that cannot be defeated in battle. So a running gag, well, not a running gag, a running thing in the entire anime is character summoning monsters that have this gimmick. And the main character, usually Yusei, the other character, still attacking them and say, oh, but you still take the damage, as in they still take the battle damage, even if their monsters aren't destroyed. So ever since it became so repetitive, it became a meme.
Good old 5Ds with its memes.
I mean, and keep in mind...
games on motorcycles.
Honestly,
yeah, that too.
Honestly, as someone whose first experience with the story of 5Ds is via Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, that story seems to be quite bonkers and weird.
It is. It has a dystopic futuristic setting, and then goes incredibly off the rails with divergent timelines and everything.
And yet, I can't bring myself to hate it. I mean, it's okay.
No, honestly, Jova Zexel really is the black sheep.
No,
no.
5Ds is
like,
fucking Shakespeare compared to Zexel.
It's like, 5 days I can still
RP is there. I don't hate it, but I don't particularly care about it. And the Pendulum and Link monsters is when the game basically lost me. I was still fine with Synchros and XYZ, but it's the Pendulum stuff that basically say, okay, that's enough from me.
They're unnecessarily overcomplicating the game. The game was fine as it was. But now they're basically taking the compile hard approach, adding more mechanics on top of more mechanics, like for no real reason.
Here's an idea. Konami. Oh, there's the third duck. Here's an idea, Konami. Instead of just inventing a new type of fusion, a type of summon altogether, like Link, Pendulum, and stuff like that, why don't you just try to revamp a bit the ritual monsters, since they're in the OCG ever since the beginning of the game, and you've done absolutely nothing with them.
Yeah,
but two of the most awesome cards were rituals back in the day. Black also relinquished.
I also happen to really like Magician of Black Chaos.
Yeah. Wait, that was a ritual?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was.
There we go.
Yugi actually used it in his duel against Pegasus.
Mm-hmm.
I think, if I remember correctly, it was the monster he used to defeat him, actually. Yeah. No, I remember. Yeah, it was that one card that Yugi managed to put face down. Specifically the dark magic ritual card, with his last breath of courage, as Yami puts it.
There you go.
Flip the switch.
Yugi, you can't be dead. If you were dead, 4Kids would have censored it.
Well, was that made pre or post 4Kids using the license?
No, pre. This was back in the Duelist Kingdom era. This was back when 4Kids was in full force making a shit ton of money with Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, and then it was because of that they ended up big a shit ton of league.
That was mostly because of One Piece, when they really fucked up with the censorship.
See, the thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like, well, Invisible Guns aside, 4Kids hadn't really gotten too out of control. Yeah, you had silly stuff like the harmless blades that would send you to the Shadow Realm, but otherwise...
Finger points are more lethal.
Well, remember, Joe, but that was that one episode where Tristan found Joey moping on the beach and punched him out of his stupor, and 4Kids decided to completely cut that finding Joey subplot, severely damaging the pacing and flow of the episode.
Which is basically the same thing that they did with the Tracy scene in Pokemon 2000. Again, 4Kids takes these liberties where they ultimately damage the characters.
And yet the weird thing is like, well, on the DVD, there's actually an uncensored cut of the original 6 episodes.
Yeah, I remember that, but apparently it was like a sleep or something.
Like, I gotta wonder, like, well, 4Kids actually let them say damn and everything. The guns were intact there. It's like, it was so surreal watching those on DVD.
Yeah.
The 4Kids gave up on that.
2, 1...
Well, DVD releases tend to be more,
Found it, second from the left.
Second to the left.
Yeah. Alright, what's this treasure? A ball.
A bubble.
I guess it's a black pearl.
A netball?
Maybe.
It looks like a netball from Pokemon.
It's a magic 8 ball.
So that's where the black pearl was.
That's a sheep.
It literally went from that scene on the beach to basically them looking for Joey, and then suddenly Tristan shows up on his bike with Joey. Hey guys, I found Joey, bye. Basically, like Little Crib would put it.
I'll just bet if there's a DVD release of that episode, that scene's probably intact. Like, it's baffling that they actually have these uncensored bits. Now, granted, I get them maybe not having damn or stuff on, like, the TV releases, since back then the word damn was considered a curse word, even though nowadays the word damn is pretty much considered the most mild you can get.
4Kids' logic was basically, we can't have punching in a kids' show. Could you imagine?
It's sending a bad message to the children.
It's weird because other episodes did have punching, but I digress.
Could you imagine 4Kids localizing Ni no Kuni 1? Like when we had when we had that intense scene between Oliver and Philip. When Philip punches Oliver, like we just cut to Esther and
7?
To Esther reacting.
Yep, it is a 7. Congrats to you.
Yeah.
We could even do a little Kribo style joke. It is implied that you are punching me.
And the weird thing is that 4Kids were inconsistent with that stuff. Like, sometimes it would be okay to show punches, other times not.
Almost as if multiple peoples were working on different episodes each. Anyway, let's see if this clears a bit more of the puzzle.
It's the same kind of censorship, of inconsistent censorship that baffles me. Kind of like the 2002, fortunately now defunct version that Steven Spielberg made for E.T. back in 2002.
The one with the cops hold keychains, I think it is?
Walkie-talkies.
Walkie-talkies. Not just that, but he also changed the word "ippy" to terrorist.
Because 9/11, of course.
Don't worry, though, it got changed back on the most recent version.
No, that's a terrorist to ippy. That's right. It's the other way around. However, so we can't have terrorists in a movie for kids, but we can still have the character say shit. That makes a lot of sense. All right.
Anyway,
see you for the next part, everybody.
See ya.